Yeah. Hold on. Start it over. Let's go. Uh, word. Yeah. Word. And it's the daily. You think it ain't when it is? Yeah. You think it won't when it is? We are here. Let's get real about relationships Thursday, Throwback Thursday, right now. How y'all feeling, man? I'm feeling like a real man should, personally. And I hope you'll join me and feeling the same way you see. Yo, it's all good. Couch table, let me favoritas all up in the house. How you doing, ma? It's good to see me some you. You know that's true. You know that I do. So listen, people tired of this quarantine thing, man. And when you really think about it, it hasn't been a long time. But when you're not doing something that you want to do, and when you're being forced to do something that you really don't want to do, time seems to go real slow. It's like be put in jail, even though you're at home. Now, if y'all had to go to work every day, y'all be like, yo, I wish that I could be home. I wish that I could chill. I wish that I could do something else and at my will. But now that we got to be in the house, we like, no, I want to go out. I want to shop. I want to hang out. I want to be with my friends. I want to go to the club or restaurant again. A lot of us probably wasn't even really going out that much even before all of this started. But you know how it is. When you're doing what you want to do, when you're doing what you want to do voluntarily, it changes the whole scope. It changes the whole feeling. It changes the whole dynamic of the situation. And now we are frustrated. But it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Just hold on another day. But what if the virus ended tomorrow? What will we have learned today? What have we gotten out of this 2.5-2 week experience, almost 3 weeks for people? What have we gotten out of this experience, y'all? Have we really gotten something that we can use? Have we prospered? Have we gotten to a point where we can now look at life and appreciate the life that we have been living a lot better than we had before? Is that what we would get out of it if it ended tomorrow? Not today. If it ended tomorrow. So when you go through the rest of this day into the night, and then you go to bed tonight, if you woke up tomorrow morning, they said it's all over. We found a cure, and we know that it's going to work. We're going to give you this vaccine, and it ain't going to hurt. Everything is going to be all right, like you wanted. Everything is going to be okay. Nobody fronted. Would you take the lessons that we have learned from this experience, and would you be okay with it? That's what we really have to ask ourselves, because right now we're in a situation that's foreign to us, something that we've never been a part of before, and something that we wish that we never experienced before. But what have we learned? Whenever you have a painful experience, then something has to come out of that painful experience. Have we really experienced any pain yet? Maybe the pain that we think that we experience is all virtual. Have we really been hurt by this thing that we've had to be a part of? This whole sequestering, this whole quarantining, this downtime, So we're going to get into that. If the virus ended tomorrow, what lessons would we have learned today? How would it change your life? Would you still be the same person? Would nothing change? Would you be validated? Would the president of the United States, number 45, D. Trump, would he be validated? Well, he kept saying that it was this, that, and the third, and that it wasn't that, this, and the whatever. And he was right, because it ended. It ended tomorrow. He said that it would come and it would be over just as fast as it came, and that the Democrats was responsible for all of this. I don't see how the Democrats can be responsible for a world pandemic. Even if they were responsible for the propaganda campaign in the United States, that wouldn't explain what's going on in Italy. That wouldn't explain what's going on in Europe and other places of the world. That would explain what's going on in China. This is everywhere. So how can you explain that? Tom Hanks said that he and his wife got it while they were in Australia. Can the Democrats explain that? Well, let's get into it, y'all. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily, the daily go get a show. We do this every single day, every day it rains, every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752. AKA Omar with the, and if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. Listen, this is the Daily Go Get It Business Show. We do this every single day at around 7 o'clock, sometimes 6 o'clock, but really we trying to settle on the whole 7 o'clock issue, and so far so good with that. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate it. All my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Appreciate me some you. Yes, I do. True. Ooh, 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 ooh. And when I see y'all come through, I feel good too. Ooh, 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 ooh. Every time I see your face, I'll be glad that you're up into the place. Ooh, 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 ooh. We're gonna do this thing right now, and you know just how. Peace to Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow, she about to turn it out. It's a boy. Building Destroy is right here. Yeah, great to see you, my dear. And yo, T. Carrie Wright is always in here tonight. Oh, yo, she got it right. My big sis, Robin Ming, is here to do a thing. Oh, she gonna swing and still sing. Alrighty then. So, yo, we're talking about tonight on this Let's Get Real About Relationships Thursday. On this Throwback Thursday, we're talking about if the virus ended tomorrow, what would we have learned today? What lessons are we taking from this? Listen, think about it. A lot of people still haven't warmed up to this pandemic. A lot of, and that would be me too. That would be me too. It took me a while to really like accept, like, yo, this shit really happening, huh? Like, they ain't just going to flip the switch and turn this thing off, huh? And you know, it still hasn't gotten real for a lot of people because it hasn't happened to people that they know. I think once it starts getting to the point where it's your next door neighbor, your coworker, your friend, your good friends, long-term friends, you know, then getting into your bloodline, your cousins, aunts, uncles, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, your own children, your spouse. When it starts to hit home and you see that cats are not recovering, or maybe, I mean, by the grace of God, hopefully they do recover. Or when you see that, yo, somebody that I know actually died from this shit. Because a lot of people believe that the things that they've been hearing on TV aren't real. Like, they're not dying from the coronavirus. They're dying from complications of the coronavirus or complications from ailments that they had before. Now, when it starts to become people that you know were not deathly ill, that you know were not terminally ill, that you know were not on their deathbed, that you know were relatively, for the most part, healthy, and then all of a sudden they're dead. Then that's when the reality will kick in. And you know what? And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't think it's going to stop until that very thing happens. Not only that, I don't think it's going to stop until we are all dead broke. I don't think it will stop until we are not able to watch this show because I won't be able to afford my internet. And neither will you. I don't think it's going to stop until then. And I'm just being real with it. Because if there is a plan in place, if this is all big of a big, giant scheme, plot, plan, system, you can best believe they're not going to take their foot up off the gas. Because you haven't even said uncle yet. Many of y'all, including me, haven't even missed a paycheck yet. Oh, yeah, it ain't real enough yet. Oh, no. Once you realize that you on your last money and there ain't no more coming in, and whereas a year ago, 2 years ago, you being on public assistance or even needing anything remotely close to that was so far out of your realm of thinking. And now it's a straight reality, no way out. That's when it will be real. That's when it will be real. Until then, we on some other shit. And if it ended tomorrow, we would be like, see, I told you. 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 Annette Davis, the number one. Annette Davis, the number one. What's going on? It's good to see me some you. Oh, yes, it's true. I'm glad you came through. I see we have a call on the line. Call on the line with the last number 6457. Hold on a second. You know, let me just finish with this intro a little bit, and I'm definitely going to bring you right on. But yeah, when it gets to that point, when it gets to the point where you can't, when it's not just something on the news, when it's not just something that's happening in Washington State or California or even New York, when it comes to visit you personally, and it sits right there next to you, and it's not even respecting your social distance. When the poverty and the sickness and the reality of both comes in and sits right next to you, and it's not even respecting the social distancing provisions that have been set forward, then it's going to be like, well, I'll be damned. So even if you are the type of person that prophesied that this was going to happen, what many of us who foresaw, I don't know if that's a word, for like the past tense of foresee or the pretense of foresee, foresaw. Can you say that? Foresaw. Anyway, for many of us who predicted that this was going to happen and who saw evidence of it being put together, we didn't really prepare ourselves. I know I didn't. It's like, yeah, I know how to survive out in the wilderness and all of that, but guess what? I ain't down to do that shit. Forgot about that part. Like, yo, I ain't really with it. I ain't really with all that. I don't really want to be up in the bush. All right, I'm going to take the caller. Caller with the last number 6457. Thank you for calling into the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind? Thanks for holding. What's up?
Yeah, what's up, man? Just wanted to hit on the topic. You know, deal with stuff.
No doubt, man. I mean, I'm feeling like a real man should. Appreciate you calling through. Speak your piece.
Yeah, well, I think what people are going to learn, and well, hopefully, let's put it like that. let's put that on there because we're talking about Americans. First thing is, you shouldn't elect a populist who has never governed and has no idea about how to govern, because when real things happen, at that point, you need a statesman, not somebody who can give rhetoric. You need actual policies in place. You need actual budgetary compliance between the Fed and the states. Like, you need things that happen in an emergency. So when you have somebody screaming for fake emergencies and putting all of their faith into, walls and rallying people for basically causes on emotion, it puts you in a dangerous place when something actually happens, and that person doesn't have much credibility with the majority of the nation, and now you got to move the whole nation in order to get something done. It puts you in a really strenuous place. Second thing, I think people are going to have to look at healthcare and the idea of healthcare as a run-for-profit system. I think people are going to rethink that when they realize not only how much they are not covered for certain things, because a lot of us got policies. We just don't know what the hell happens. Worst case scenario happens, you start going through your policy. Section A, Section B, 29 paragraph street, like, you find out your policy don't actually cover a lot of things. And then the third thing I would say is how much money is spent by the federal government and how that money is spent. Because we're always told about what can't be done, but amazingly, when the right people want things done, they can magically make $2 trillion here. So those are the things I think people are going to come away from this. And then the other thing, I guess, your regular life, you start looking at other people like, wait a minute, I know some nasty people in my life. And when you start thinking about disease and things like that, I think some people are going to conduct themselves a little differently, man. You know what I mean? Wash themselves their fingertips. You ain't just rushing water over your hands when you wash your hands, bro. Like, we got to do some grown people stuff when it comes to cleanliness. But, yeah, man, that's a dope question, though, to ask, man.
Listen.
If we don't learn from this, we will definitely be revisiting this sometime soon in the future.
Listen, I really appreciate, that commentary that you just dropped, because it's you hit on all of the points that I can think of. This is the one situation that I thought was extremely peculiar in 2016, where America was down to elect a politician elect somebody to be a politician that had never been a politician. So we just threw experience out the window, and we did it for a person that we knew who has a questionable history on almost all fronts. Someone who represented absolutely zero of any of the American values as far as the office of the president of the United States was concerned. We just threw all caution to the wind, and the alliance to that figurehead has grown stronger since they elected him. It's like amazing. It's amazing to me that this is the situation. Like when you talk to some Trump supporters, you get a different sense of what loyalty and what blind loyalty is. You get a different sense of the difference between what one news program or one reporting program may be versus another reporting program. It's almost like you're living in an alternative universe when you talk to them, because you're thinking like, what are you talking about? Like when I mean, my man, am I lying?
You get on something I didn't think of. And that's the media aspect. Okay, Can you go forward as a nation if you have a media and a country split among two narratives? It's one thing to have opinions about things or think differently about events. But when you decide that two events have different factual basis, like you decide, no, this is a fact, no, this is not this is a fact. Like, that's a country that's serious trouble. So that's something that has to be addressed. Like, how do you address media hysteria as opposed to actual good reporting, as opposed to actual, you're chasing ad revenue, so therefore you keep running the same story, scaring the hell out of people, like theater porn. Like, that becomes a problem too. Like, you need to inform, but you don't need to try to turn people into zombies. Just feed them the most egregious thing you find. So, dude, you hit on another point. Yeah, the media part.
There is so much to this. There's so much to this whole thing that's going on. And at the same time, this is all chipping away at our historic views of decency, of health, of finances, of unity, of family, of social interaction. Everything. We are becoming unclothed. This is like, you ever play strip? Have you ever played strip poker?
Nah, bro. I get it.
But you understand, right?
I'm more a spades person.
Okay.
I'm more a spades person, but I get it.
Okay. So, but you know how strip poker works. Because I played strip I played strip Uno. You know what I mean? You can make a strip game out of any card game. But the object is every time you lose, you have to take off something. That's pretty much how I see what's been happening to American idealism. Everything that we held to be concrete as far as our security is concerned, our safety is concerned, our just being able to feel like somebody cares about us. We're all being stripped. we getting to the point, you know.
Yeah, the house of cards, right?
It's
the house of cards, and
yes.
thing knocked that whole house of cards over.
Word up.
Think about it. We've been past 30 years. We've been told that basically workers don't matter. You should be happy to have a job. So they have to complain about it. Then we find out to remove the workforce, and these billionaires are on their knees begging the so-called federal government that they always claim is the problem to survive for their lifeblood. So we learned that about the workforce, and then we also learned that the federal government has extremely strong powers when it wants to use them.
Man, listen.
How that works.
Yeah, it's real funny because we've been screaming for reparations since 1865. And they always said there wasn't no money for that. But you come up with $2 trillion. You come up with $2 trillion overnight. Like you had it, like it was your Trump card in your back pocket. Like, all right, yeah, I got the Joker. Here go the big Joker right here. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hey, the airlines that they're treating people like serfs, now emailing everybody, begging them to come back. Oh, well, we'll do this now, and we'll wait the backseat, and we'll do social distancing on the flight, and it's begging like man.
It's wild.
It was all good just a week ago.
It was all good just a week ago. I mean, this thing.
I could go to New York tomorrow for $20.
Right? I mean, on a flight, like, yo, that's not even covering the gas. You know what I'm saying? Like, they begging. Listen, man, this is and that's what I'm talking about. When I was saying earlier that it's not going to stop until we get stripped naked, until the reality of this thing is so far in your face that you're going to have to try to look around it, look on the side of it, look over it, look under it or behind it, and you're not going to be able to do it. That's the reason why it's not going to stop tomorrow, because tomorrow wouldn't be validated if it stopped tomorrow. It can't stop until it gets validated. And I don't like to sound like a fear monger. I don't like to sound like the way that the media sounds, but I just understand how some things work. You know, it's like let's say when you're at your job and you keep getting warnings at your job. So you get a few warnings, you get wrote up, you get a verbal written, then you get a written, then you get a suspension. You know what I mean? You get all the way to your last, your last warning or whatever, and you still get a reprieve and everything. And then all of a sudden, if you work for the union or something like that, then a new year comes and you don't get in any trouble. And so it wipes the slate clean. And then you start all over with your craziness, your bullshit and your violations. So you never learn your lessons because they never finish you off. If they finish you off and you actually have to look for another job and and seriously evaluate your behavior, then you change. But if that never happens, then that's when you have people at jobs talking about, man, I've been working here for 20 years. Don't tell me how to do my job. And they're not doing their job. You understand what I mean? They're not the ones ever doing their job. Yeah.
Virus don't care who you are. It's just moving.
Yeah.
It's destroying. Like that's what it does. So we gonna have to ride this thing out. And look, to all the people who saying that it's not this and it's not that, hey man, you do that if you want to, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm protecting myself and clean up as much as I can. And I don't care who you are in America. Cough in the wrong place, you might be subject to an ass whooping. Like, real talk. Like, go somewhere and cough violently around the wrong person, man. You might get swung on.
Listen, man.
Time for that.
Listen, this thing is deeper, is way deeper than people understand. And just like you were saying, people were in denial that it's even a such thing as the whole COVID-19 coronavirus or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Let's say, even if I didn't believe that there was a such thing as the coronavirus, I know that there's a such thing as genocide, and I know through my history that has been practiced against us. So I know that there is a such thing as sickness, and I know that there is a such thing as death. So regardless of what you choose to call it, I'm sorry. It's a real thing, and it's starting to get closer and closer. So you know how like the tide washes up on the beach in different ways throughout the day. So you sit your ass far out on the beach, in the morning time, and you'll probably be all right. But if you do that later on in the day, you may have periods where it's really hard for you to breathe, So hey, this thing, listen, listen. People have been in denial of a lot of things in life. They've been in denial that there's a God. Okay, well, whether you believe in it or not, do you believe in creation of some type? Because if you do, whether you say that God created it, or whether you say that the universe, or whether you think that there's no such thing or such being that's responsible for that, that one thing comes from another. That's our theory of creation. That's the way we learn. We learn that something has to come from something else. Nothing just creates itself. So whatever that thing is that you think creates itself, that's what we're dealing with when we're talking about this virus. This thing comes from somewhere else, and it will end up somewhere else. And it may end up with you or me or somebody that we know, but we're not going to get out of this thing. We're not just going to be able to turn the channel or watch DVDs or this is not a media thing anymore. It's gotten away from that. They may have sensationalized it, but now we're starting to see how, like, now we know people who who this thing has happened to.
Right.
So this is crazy.
Regardless of hysteria and everything else, protect yourself, protect your family in the best way you can, and just keep moving. Like, you don't keep crawling up in the ball and quit and say life's over. No, you keep pushing and keep doing what you do. Keep laughing, smiling, and everything else. But you still need to take precautions. So, I mean, that's just what it is. It's a game of life, man. So, man, I'm going to hang back and listen to you, man. But, yeah, you spit the thing, bro.
Okay, but before you go, let me make sure that we get your an actual answer from you on record. If it did end tomorrow, what would you have personally taken from this whole experience? What would you change or keep the same, or what has been affected in your life because of this experience if it ended tomorrow?
Well, it convinced me that I was right about a lot of things about how the world works and how government works. So I think I would be even more, I guess I would be, even more confident in some of the things I believe. So this year, 2020, is a census year, so they're going to be redrawing district maps. So that's going to determine who gets elected to office and what type of person is going to be governing in your local area. So, these are things that we got to kind of double back on, our effort on, and go home. Those are the things that concern me. Because I'm like, look, if you're a regular person, you can't stop a whole damn pandemic or nothing like that. But you can put the tools in place to have better outcomes the next time we really do like this. So that would be my focus.
Okay. Listen, man, I appreciate you coming through. And listen, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut your line off, or if you want to jump back in at any time during the show, why don't you do this? Just mute your line and keep listening. And whenever you want to jump back in, you just jump back in at your leisure. All right.
All right. That's what's up, man.
All right. Good looking out. Yeah, man. That brother is wise. Definitely. And I'm glad he called in, because he gave me a different perspective, some things that I hadn't really directly thought of, and I appreciate that. But this is what we're talking about tonight, y'all. If the virus ended tomorrow, what would we have learned today? Some of us really have been just trying to close our eyes or pray or whatever and hope that this thing goes away. And we haven't really gotten as uncomfortable with this thing as it's going to be. And they've been telling us that, yo, this thing is going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And they're not playing. Even if they're not playing, just because they already have the plan in place, and they're making sure that this thing just pushes and pushes and pushes until you're so uncomfortable it feels like somebody has you in this corner right here. Let's do this. In this corner right here, you big as hell, and they just pressing you into that thing. You're like, what are you doing? Let me move. Like, no, you're gonna have to feel this. You're gonna have to feel this. Because you don't really think that that big ball in the sky that's made of fire that heats our solar system. You don't believe that thing is real. Oh, yeah, it's real. It's the sun. And now you're going to feel this heat. I really don't believe that it's going to change until that becomes the case. Listen, I appreciate y'all liking the show. Yeah, I ain't even say it. Yo, thanks for liking the show. Please, if you're coming through, please push that like button and make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. We're here every day at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Son 752, aka Omar with the rrr. And we're talking about if the virus ended tomorrow, what would we have learned today? If the virus ended tomorrow, what would we have learned today? Peace to my girl, Charlene Curry, Charlene Curry. What's going on, Charlene? How you feeling, Charlene? Thanks for coming through, y'all. Yeah, but what would we have learned, y'all? You know what I mean? When you really think about it, you've been inconvenienced. Some of y'all been off of work for 2 weeks, and some of y'all have been off of work for 2 weeks without any pay. Some of y'all have had to take y'all vacation time, whatever PTO paid time off that you've had to exhaust some of it or use some of it or whatever. Some of y'all have been so anxious and fearful and nervous over this shit that y'all have already been showing symptoms, even though y'all ain't got it. And probably none of us have been tested for the shit. And we're anxious about the fact that we don't think that we're going to be given the chance to be tested. So here we are running around here with face masks and gloves and shit, you know, hoping that we don't get it. We're all being bombarded with all of this social media stuff. All of our inboxes are full of, yo, they about to do this, they about to do that. The military is coming through. They don't know how to act. They gonna make you sick. They ain't doing this. This the 5G shout. This the 5G towers. It's not the virus. They lying about that shit. It's not the virus. But speaking of the virus don't exist. That shit is just a bunch of lies on the list. Yo, I mean, think about it. Think about it. They have mushed this in our face day after day after day. You're smacked in the face by the basic Cool J is Bob. Anyway, we can't run. So, although some of us have tried to laugh it off, romanticize it, you know, not feed into the propaganda campaign, try to decide who we can trust and who we can't, you know, we've tried to ignore it. We've tried to look the other way. We've tried to isolate ourselves. Some of us may have started reading more, you know, just trying to practice a little bit of escapism. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm in straight up denial, but I'm going to practice this escapism. I'm just going to try to get away from this thing. And, you know, just like we did a show last week, there is no way to go. Trapped in America and nowhere to go. You can't go to Canada. They got it up there. Can't go to Mexico. They got it down there. Can't go to the Caribbean. They got it over there. I think. Now, it's supposed to be so warm in those areas that it shouldn't be nobody down there with it. They say that that heat kills the virus. You know? We'll see. We'll all see in a few months. So around August, we should all be good, right? But what's going to be the death toll? What's going to be the toll that it takes on our lives and our lifestyles? So if it ended tomorrow, what would we have learned? What toll has it taken on our life and our lifestyle? How, you know, what has it changed? You know, will we just be able to pick up and go back to what it was? If you could go back to work, they say, all right, the virus is over. You can start back on Monday. We're not going to start you on Friday, but you can start back on Monday. Everything is good. What would you and your coworkers, what would it be like? You know what I mean? Many of y'all get along with y'all coworkers. Some of y'all have made relationships have formed relationships with your coworkers, sort of like family. But I bet you you wouldn't be going back hugging and hugging and kissing and being all affectionate now. Be like, I know they said they ended it yesterday, but I ain't get my shot. I ain't get my pill. I ain't get my vaccine. I ain't get my cure. Think about it. Even if we could go back to work on Monday and resume life, if we could go sit in a restaurant again or a movie theater, would you be able to do it comfortably now? Would you be like, yo, I mean, I don't see why we shouldn't still follow this social distancing thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the movies, I'm trying to enjoy the movie, but I don't think you should sit next to me in the movie. Like sit two chairs over. And this might be in the IMAX theater. You know what I mean? Like these seats are big, man. You know, like, but still, you know, social distancing. We've never been through anything like this in our lives. This is crazy. You know, will you be able to be in a crowd comfortably again? Will you be able to? Trump supporters, you know, many of them, thousands of them really didn't believe that this coronavirus thing is real. And they didn't believe it was real because he said it wasn't real. And now he's had to scale back on that. He's had to retract those words. Never said I'm sorry, but he's had to retract that because he was another non-believer who had to have it mushed in his face. And it was because of the crash of the stock market that woke him up like, shit. If the stock market would just get back together, then it wouldn't be no big deal. I would still be right. But now, I mean, my claim to fame was the stock market and the economy. And now that's messed up. So he can't just bury his head in the sand like a ostrich. And his supporters, if the virus ended tomorrow and they could have those Trump rallies that are so popular, those Trump rallies that are held all around the country in those red states, in those red areas, you know, those things that sell out, each and every one of them. What would those Trump rallies look like now? Do y'all really believe in a parallel universe? I do. No. But do they really believe the hype that he feeds them? Because they will regurgitate and spit that rhetoric that he feeds them into the TV screen every day. Whatever he says, I've heard them say. Like they send out a memo or a script and they're all reading off the same one. Okay, what would those Trump rallies look like now? I would love to see it. He wants to put the country back on by what, April 6th? He says he wants to do it by Easter. Hold on. When is Easter, y'all? Hold on. What's Easter? What's Easter? Well, what's Wester? Hold on. All right, wait a minute. Wait. Is Easter has to be either what, the 5th or the 12th? So I think he said he wants to put the country back together by the 6th, and that's that Monday. So Easter is the 5th. That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Which what it look like when you're on the mind. Tell them sucker MCs don't try to buy it. Okay. So, you know, that's his claim to fame. Them Trump rallies, because that's when he's able to talk to the people. He's able to talk to his people personally and get into their heads. And it's working. It has worked hook, line, and sinker before. But what are those Trump rallies going to look like? If the virus ended tomorrow, would those Trump rallies still look the same? Would they be full like that? Because remember when he first got elected and he said that his inauguration had all of these people? What they say? More people than any other inauguration. And you like, where they at? 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 They were there. They just weren't visible on camera or in person. Those must have been ghosts. But I see y'all having a problem sharing. That's crazy. YouTube fronting. I don't know, man. No, yesterday, remember I had to start the show. I had to delete a show and restart the whole thing over because it wasn't even going to let me do a live chat. I was like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No. Emily says, Carol, I used to be able to, okay, share. Y'all talking about sharing. You're talking about sharing something. Okay, Carol says, I know I have a net. Okay, I'm sitting here thinking about tomorrow's dinner now, shaking my head. I'm bored. I'm cooking Sunday dinners on weeknights. Oh, because y'all bored up in the crib. Bored in the crib. And then Dave says a lot of people actually had to cook on a daily basis. Oh, yeah. You talk about people who normally ate out a lot. Yeah. Robbie Mink says that's going to take time mentally, Omar, to adjust. It is. And it is. You know what I think is crazy though, Rob. We haven't been quarantined very long. And a lot of people haven't been quarantined at all. I haven't been quarantined. I've still worked every day since this thing has started. I haven't quarantined myself. Maybe next week it looks like my quarantine is coming. It looks like I may get my quarantine on next week, but like I don't mind. I like being home anyway. Shit, I might be streaming all day. Give y'all the play-by-play. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't see how we haven't taken a lot of lessons from this. Like, who tells the truth and who lies? You know, who can we really believe? And I'm not even just talking about the media or politics. Even people that you know that appear to have your best interest at heart. Do they? And what's their level of gullibility? What's their level of gullibility? You know what I mean? Am I the only one that's been taking a hard look at people next to me? People that I knew? Am I the only one? Because I've been taking a hard look at things that people post, things that people say, you know, how they have reacted to this whole situation, the things that they believe, what people will seem to have fallen for. Come on over here. Come on. Oh, I'm like, so who seems to think critically? Who's the suckers? Some of those suckers are close to us. Some of those gullible people are close to us. They're people that we know, people that we love, people that we respect. And we like, you believe that shit? You know, I'm like, listen, I believe that there's life on other planets also. But right now ain't the time to be blaming no aliens, son. I'm not doing that. I ain't got time for that shit. And I'm not gonna have this conversation with you. No, we're not doing aliens right now. We're not doing aliens right now. We got an alien in the White House. We're not doing that. We got an alien trying to keep out illegal aliens. No. Charlene Curry says, my sons have become teachers overnight. Wow. So boy says, everyone should be more conscious. They should be, but are they though? Are they though? T. Carey Wright says, if it ended tomorrow, I would have learned that I have more work to do with my sons, really understanding the weight of this in their lifetime from an economic and sociological standpoint. And you know what I think is interesting, T. Carey Wright, is as much as this administration has sought to divide this country, and as Black people, we don't have no problem with that because we divide from each other. We are masters and mistresses at divisions. We are experts. But you notice that we don't really have nobody to blame. We've been trying, some of us take some jabs at Chinese people. Like, yeah, it's because of y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all over there. I saw a video. Somebody sent me a video of a Chinese man fucking a chicken. I don't know if he was really fucking a chicken. I know he was naked and sitting down in the chicken, but the chicken, I don't know if you can a human dick be small enough to fuck a chicken? I don't know. Have you ever seen a chicken dick? I'm not even playing right now, man. I've seen geese fuck. And if you've ever seen geese fuck, the goose dick is like a spring. It's like a noodle, but it's like a spring. When he pulls out, it's like a big giant noodle slinky. Not big though. Not big. It's like this is what it reminds me of. Like, see these beads? It's sort of like that, but smaller and shorter. So maybe like this length, more like this length was smaller. It's like a noodle. So I'm like, if the goose dick or chicken dick is like a noodle, then the chicken pussy has to be shaped to be able to receive that. They're not going to be able to receive no damn human. That's why I'm looking at this shit like, oh, give me a fucking break. Come on, man. You know what I mean? So we haven't been able to blame nobody for this shit. For real. We can't. We want to blame Chinese. We want to blame whoever. But at the end of the day, that shit is here. And we have bigger fish to fry. It ain't about who started what. When motherfuckers is dying or potentially becoming deathly ill. We got time to be blind. I don't give a fuck who started what. Y'all gotta fix this thing. And hurry up before my mama passed, before my dad passed, before my brother, my sister, my aunts, my uncle, before my best friend, before my spouse, before my children, before come on. The boy says, there's still some diehards for Trump. Plenty. But I would like to see those diehards come out and put their life on the line. But they wouldn't be putting their life on the line because it ain't real, right? See, it wouldn't be real if it ended tomorrow. And that's why it ain't going to end tomorrow. Emily says, this is the time for me to get back into my reading. Word up. Robin Ming says, that's Satan in the White House. Which one? Because I know that Mike Pence, he looked kind of satanic. Like, that's a devil looking dude. Trump is just kind of ugly to me and strange looking, but that fucking Mike Pence, he looks seriously demonic to me. Seriously demonic. Am I the only one? He looks like that too? I'd be like, man, this dude looks serious. You know? So TK, right? Listen, I'm dead serious about that bird shit. I've seen geese. I'm like, yo. And then David says, only you would know something about that. Listen, Annette. I study nature, not as much as some people, but I don't forget what I see. So some things are just ridiculous to me. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. So y'all thought I was playing around with that goose shit. I'm not. But this is how ridiculous it's getting. Because the caption on the video that I saw with the Chinese dude and the chicken, I don't even know if he was Chinese. You know what I mean? He looked Chinese. It said, this is how the coronavirus got started. That's what the caption said. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. What are we doing? We're the new social media is the new media, and it's worse than the mass media or the conventional media. Carol Chamberlain says, I saw someone post about the aliens today. You don't know what to believe. But if it ended today, what would our belief system be? I mean, I'm sorry, if it ended tomorrow, if the virus ended tomorrow, our belief system about the media, will we be able to watch the news in the same way? Some of us don't watch the news now, and I don't blame them. I was really one of them, but I watched that MSNBC shit. I watched that CNN shit, and I've watched that Fox shit, and it ain't easy, especially now because ain't nothing else on the news. They ain't even talking about the primary election. I mean, fuck all that. Biden and the other bull, Bernie. Ain't nobody talking about none of that shit. Now it's all coronavirus. Nothing else is on the news. They shut everything down. Word up. Carol, you saw the video too? Man, shit crazy. Annette Davis says, if it can lay an egg, it can take it. I'm sorry, I couldn't. You know what? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. TK Wright says, Pence looks evil. He looks evil. I'd be like, yo, man, when I see him, I'd be like, yo, this dude, he should have been the original Omen Damien. He should have been Damien, at least in Damien Omen 2. He had everything it took. Robin Ming says, yes, Pence does. Pence is an asswipe. I wish just calling them names would fix something. TK Wright says, Pence looks like he burns his own mother with cigarette butts when she messes up the 23rd Psalm. He does. He doesn't. That dude, I don't know, man. You know, some people just had this certain look that you like, something ain't right. It just gives you this funny feeling. And I don't mean that in a good way. The media is full of BS. I agree. Carol Chamberlain says, it wouldn't happen, Omar. Even they ain't that crazy. I don't know. You know what I mean? You hear shit about people who took what I hear the other day. Some couple had took this drug that was for malaria that President Trump was talking about, and they got real sick. It was like some kind of fish. I don't know, some chlorophyll fish cleaner, whatever. They took this shit, and the husband died. I'm like, yo. They hadn't even been tested for the coronavirus yet. I don't even know if they had symptoms. That's like somebody getting killed trying to leave a place. They fucked around and tripped and got stampeded. Carol Chambliss. Oh no, wait. Carol Chambliss says Pence looked like he would off him if he could. Robbie says, if you notice, the only stores open is the pharmacy, supermarkets, and gas stations. That happened quickly. Oh, T. Carey Wright knows the name of it. Chloroform. Chloroform. The wife is in critical condition. Yeah. And she spilled the beans. Oh, yeah, we took this because President Trump said blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, oh, no, don't bitch now. He was the fucking man when you took the shit, right? Your dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? Like this is equivalent. Look, charge it to the game. Unfortunately, you got to charge it to the game. You know, Jim Jones had a lot of followers. They drunk the cyanide laced Kool-Aid. They signed up to go. Charge it to the game. Is this your king? Is this your king? Well, all right. Don't get mad now. Carol Chambliss says, I know this has brought out the ugly side of people. They fight for anything just to get it for themselves. You mean like toilet paper and paper towels and bleach and hand sanitizer and face masks and gloves and shit? T-Rex says, chloroform is the proper spelling. Chloroform? Ain't chloroform the shit that knocks you out? You know what I mean? That sets you up to be date raped? Chloroform? I've been trying to get my hands on that shit for the longest. You know, just to see if it works. Not for nothing. And then David says, hydroxychloroquine. That's the one. That's it. That's the one. That's the one. That's it. That's it. That's it. And then David says, I take the medication. It cleans out the fish aquarium. Look, man, it cleaned out his aquarium too. Cleaned it for good. You ain't got to do a thing. All right. I just picked up this phone and I saw Raj from What's Happening on here. Man, for a minute, I thought they was going to say that he passed. I'm like, come on, man. No, not Ernest Thomas. He's 71 years old today. You know what I'm saying? What's that dance he used to do on What's Happening? I used to do it. Always like Raj. Raj was cool. I liked him in Malcolm X. I liked him in Malcolm X. Our brother Malcolm. A brother Malcolm X. But yeah, if the virus ended today, I think what I would have taken away from this, the lesson that I've learned more than anything else, is that sometimes your predictions aren't enough. I think what I would take away from this is You know what? Sometimes you gotta actually believe your own hype. Because I've been talking about this shit for years. People who've listened to this show, they know I've talked about martial law for years. It's going all the way back to the Pope and all of that kind of shit. I've talked about this shit. But I wasn't really, I mean, I believed it, but I was like, like it's gonna come at another time. Way down the line. No, it's coming right now, brother. You've spoken it into existence. Speaking something into existence. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if I believe in that wholeheartedly. And if I spoke this into existence, that would be like I caused it to happen. I ain't really with all that. So look at this. I'm seeing a post where Scarface, the rapper Scarface, says he tested positive for coronavirus. Now remember, last year or the year before, they were saying that he was dying of cancer, lung cancer. Now he has the coronavirus. I don't know. They said he was on his deathbed. They didn't just say he had cancer a little while, a couple of years ago. They said he was on his deathbed, like he was reading his last rites. Now he well enough to get the coronavirus. So I don't think, I mean, if it's okay with y'all, I'm not fucking with that right now. What will we have learned? If the virus ended today, what will we have learned? What can we take with us? Will we be the same way with our children? I mean, keeping it a buck. Would motherfuckers wash their hands and keep washing their hands the way they've acted like they just learned to wash their hands? Robbie Mink says, Omar, you have lock and lock containers? What's lock and lock containers? Is that like Tupperware? Is that like Tupperware? My mama used to sell Tupperware. I used to love Tupperware. It was dope, wasn't it? Tupperware was the creme de la creme back then. I mean, state of the art. But man, you can't go on social media without seeing something about COVID-19. COVID-19. 19. So, but where do we go from here? What do we do here? What do we do? Is it gonna be all right? Seriously, is it going to be all right? How many of y'all are still following the guidelines of the quarantine? Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. Speaking of the guidelines of the quarantine. Speaking of the guidelines of the quarantine. Speaking of which, hold on. Like I refuse to take this shit out of my mailbox. Y'all probably got this bullshit too. President Trump's coronavirus guidelines for America. You see it? How can I do it so y'all can see it? No. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. President Trump's coronavirus guidelines for America. Well, let's see what it says. Because I wasn't going to get this out of my mailbox. I was like, fuck out of here. I'm definitely going to wash my hands after this show. It says, listen and follow the direction of your state and local authorities. If you feel sick, stay home. Do not go to work. If your children are sick, keep them at home. Contact your medical provider. If you are an older person, what the fuck is that? Or have a serious underlying health condition, stay home and away from other people. This really sounds like he wrote it. If someone in your household has tested positive, keep the entire household at home. Even if you are young or otherwise healthy, you are at risk and your activities can increase the risk for others. It is critical that you do not part to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Work or study from home whenever possible. Avoid social gatherings in groups of more than 10 people. Avoid eating or drinking at bars or restaurants. Use pickup or delivery options. Avoid discretionary travel, shopping trips, and social visits. Do not visit nursing homes or retirement or long-term care facilities unless to provide critical assistance. Always practice good hygiene. Wash your hands, especially after touching any frequently used item or surface. Avoid touching your face. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or the inside of your elbow. Disinfect frequently used items and surfaces as much as possible. That, my friends, is President Trump's coronavirus guidelines for America. Slow the spread. How y'all love that? Hold on, y'all. I gotta go wash my hands. I'm the fuck out of here. Look, I ain't touching this shit. Anything come from that bastard, it ain't gonna fuck me up. I'm not even superstitious like that, but I'll be goddamn if I'm going out like that. You know what I mean? I eat my colon ream every day. Try to work out, keep myself healthy. Drinking Boulderine and shit. I ain't trying to go out like that. I got kids. I mean, I got people who like me, and I got people who love me too. Come infect my shit. And yeah, I threw that bullshit away. All right. Woo! Okay. Robbie Ming says, I got it in the mail yesterday and threw it in the trash. So boy says, so in other words, stay home. TK Wright says, some people need a complete outline. And then David says, don't touch your face after handling that. Man, Robbie Ming says, I still didn't get the census. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, y'all. I mean, where are we gonna go after this? What we doing? What we doing, y'all? What the Guan? What the Guan do? After this thing is over, if it ended tomorrow, what would you have learned today? What are you taking with y'all? I know what I'm taking with me. I think I know that I've learned to value the people that I consider to be dear to me, that I consider to be special to me, that I consider to be close. This has heightened my awareness of what real closeness is about. You know, what true admiration, what love is about, what general feelings are, what they're really about. Because at this point in time, you have to start thinking, all of you have people on your friends list that are no longer on your friends list physically because they passed. We have go-getters that have participated on this show and they're no longer here. Guinevere Edemwanyi, gone. My girl Keisha, Lakeisha Brown, downtown Lakeisha Brown, out of here. A few people in the group, gone. You know what I'm saying? And with this virus, I've had to start thinking like, I've had to start thinking about some things that made me uncomfortable. So that's what I would have to carry with me. Those are some of the lessons that I've learned from this if it ended tomorrow. And because I'm conscious that it ain't going to end in a whole bunch of tomorrows, that's in the back of my mind. Like, damn, man. Woo! Queen Monica Davis is all up in the house. What's going on, Queen Monica? You know what I mean? All the way back to the 1991. Word up. So this is like, this shit is deep. Hold on. I ain't mean to go this far over time. We gotta get on up out of here. Y'all bugging. Y'all always making me do shit I don't want to be doing. I really appreciate the man who called in tonight. You know what I'm saying? He's a good dude. Good convo. Very, very good convo right there. All right, so this is what we're going to do, y'all. We're going to do these birthday shout-outs, and then we're going to holler back. We're going to back holler. I got holler on back. Back order holler. All right, we have some birthday shout-outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious March 26th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They are number one out the box, my girl, Danya Searles. Danya Searles. I know Danya all the way back since the 1989. Happy birthday to you, Danya. Do the damn thing. Do the damn thing. And my brother, Keith Tyler. Go get her, Keith Tyler. That's my man, y'all. That's my bro, y'all. Turning 48 years old today. That's my dude. You know what I mean? You keep banging. And also Joe Medley turning 50 years old today. Fresh out of the 40-40 club. Fresh into the half-century club. Do the damn thing, Joe. 1970, baby. And also Albert Isaias Vasquez Vargas. Happy birthday to you. And also Nona Baldwin and Jacqueline Smith turning 47 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Jacqueline. And Nicole Love turning 39 years old today. Not in the 44 club, but she's down that way. Hold on to your last year of 30. Do the damn thing. Don't let them do you dirty. And also Joanna Wright. Joanna Wright, happy birthday to you. And Tay Oliver, or I guess that's really Ty Oliver because it's T-A-E. But knowing us black people, it probably says Tay. Fresh out of the 40-40 club. Fresh into the half-century club, 1970, baby. I said, no ifs, ands, maybes. Happy birthday to you, bro. And also Andrea Smith, turning 55 years old today, Deuce Nichols. And also Aracelis Torres Matos, turning 41 years old today. One successful year in the 40-40 club. One successful year in the 40-40 club. And also Candace Logan turning 34 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Candace. And also my man, go get a Robert Howard III. Go get a Robert Howard III. Wait a minute, he's not a go getter. Is he a go getter? Wait a minute, he might be a go getter. Anyway, this is my brother. You know what I mean? All the way back since the 1991, I knew him. You know what I mean? You know, one of them dog dudes. You know, you know, like my man, like my other brother from another mother, Donald Mack. You know, and Q dog shit. Yo, happy birthday to you, Rob. Do the damn thing. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious March 26th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the rock out, rock on and do the damn rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, hey, yo, listen, I want to talk. Hey, yo, listen, y'all. You know, regardless of whether we hold something in high favor or whether we detest it, things happen for a reason, and everything that we learn in our lives is a lesson. Now, if we fail to draw the lesson from if we fail to learn the lesson that is taught from the lesson, if we don't pay attention to what the hell somebody is with, if we don't pay attention to what our experiences are trying to teach us, then we might as well just stay exactly where we are and never advance and never get anywhere. You know, whether I like this situation and I don't or not, I know that this has to change us and make us stronger in order to get through this thing. And that's whether we get through it by the cure coming or whether we get through it by overcoming the illness or whether we get through it by being able to dodge it. You know, using the techniques that we have learned to be able to do so. But however it goes, this will be an experience that we will never, ever forget. And that we will probably be on our knees praying that will never, ever happen again. And if we feel that way right now, if it was to end tomorrow, imagine how we're going to feel next month when it hasn't ended yet. And I don't think that it will end next month. I'm just preparing myself for the absolute worst because something tells me that I'm going to be able to expect that. I don't know about y'all. But I think this is a time when we need to practice social distancing, but not practice knowledge and building different distance. We have to come together in order to learn how to just survive this thing, weather the storm, and hopefully it makes us better than we could have ever imagined before. You know, so love is love, baby. We'll be back here tomorrow night with another show, 7:00. Thank y'all for listening to the Daily Go Get It Mism Show. I hope y'all enjoy listening to it as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I holla at y'all. Thanks for liking the show. If you haven't liked the show so far, please make sure that you press that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so thus far. Please share the show. I appreciate it. We're still trying to grow this movement. And we'll be right back at you, and we'll be right back better than the first time.
90 seconds.
All right, so I'm going to holler. I holler back. I holler. I holler. I holler back. I holler. Peace, y'all. Love is love, baby. A real love.
Thank you for using Blog
I'm
Talk
talking
Radio.
about
Goodbye.
a real love. Someone break my... Okay.